And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next episode, day number 4 of the 7-day challenge of the conflict elimination technique. So I'm glad to be with you all again here today. And like I said, today is going to be more of a Q&A day, right? So again, if you guys have been attending the earlier days as well too, from day 1 all the way up to today, and you do have some questions in regards to the conflict elimination technique, well, just feel free to put that in the chat. Okay, I'm going to be doing another demonstration of conflict elimination today, just another example. So yesterday we were looking more into the idea of emotional mental conflict, right, representing abuse. The day before that we were looking into kind of more the physical degree of conflict as well too. And we're also going to look more so into helping to heal relationships, right? So that's going to be the demonstration I'm going to share today, right? So if it's basically looking at the idea of a spouse relationship in that example, just being able to heal that relationship in regards to any old ties that have been brought up that we're now ready to put to rest. And like I said, BCR Technique as a level 1 is helping you with that a lot more, helping you with clearing away a lot of that heavy-heartedness. But like I said, conflict elimination is going in and doing a lot more of the thorough cleaning. So we're going to take a look at that today. So I'm just going to put that down here, conflicts and goals, or a goal I should say. Okay, so using that example today about a conflict. So really what I would say is I just want to be at peace with my loved one. At peace with my loved one. And so that's the goal. At peace, completely content, feeling completely happy, just in regards to how I feel and how I am involved in this relationship. There's contentment, there's peace, there's joy. Right, so let's take a look at the idea of examples of, there's a lot of examples really, of conflicts within relationship, right? So there could be the idea, of course, miscommunication. And I got another dying pen here. So basically I'll just give you guys again the quick little glance here. So again, we have our 2 columns here, right? So my pen's about to die here with trying to get the conflicts down, but basically just being at peace with my loved one. Now, of course, this can relate to anything in regards to family, in regards to friendship as well too. But we're just looking at some conflicts in regards to that, saying, yeah, there's a lot of miscommunication with us. We're arguing constantly. We always have different points of views, and we get into a battle about our points of views, which, of course, is very, very common through a lot of the clients I've worked with, right? They constantly get in a tug of war with their spouses, or they get in a tug of war with their mom or their dad, their brother, their sister, their kids, right? And there's just this disagreement, there's this miscommunication, there's constant battling in regards to people's opinions and how they need to be right about things and all that. So again, it can also fall into victim consciousness, it can also fall into blame games, it can fall into shame, it can fall into deep hurt, right? So these are again the example of the conflicts that we will experience in hurtful relationships, okay? But we have our goal. So that goal never entails you trying to change the other person. Okay, that does not even come into the context here. It's not about changing another person because you cannot change another person. You can only ever change yourself, right? And the reason why we get into these battles, into these conflicts, is because we put out a certain energy. And then we therefore attract those particular type of people that may be contrary to that type of energy. And then we clash, right? We don't want to say, okay, just let bygones be bygones. I'm not concerned about it. I love this person for who they are. I'm not too concerned about their political views or their medical views or anything of that nature. That's what we're learning to put to rest, right? So that we can therefore kind of wave the white flag and just say, I want truth here. This is my loved one. This is my husband. This is my wife. This is my mom. This is my dad. This is my brother, my sister, my kids, so forth, so on and so forth. Is that we're just looking at the goal and saying, all I want is just to be at peace with my loved one. So this will be the focus of the demonstration today. So again, like I said, we just write down some of those conflicts pertaining to a loved one, right? Because a lot of people go into these battles, especially now, right? Since 2020 up to the current day here in 2022, Been a lot of family squabbles, relationship squabbles, particularly about political views and medical views, agenda views, etc. And that is what's causing discord with a lot of families. And so the common question is, Brad, how can I make peace with this? How can I bring this back to peace? Well, it has to start with you. Because as I said, you're the only perceiver of your reality. You're the only one here. And so we attract these soul reflections into us because of how we present our vibration to the world. So what we're doing is we're taking our vibration and we're no longer making it polarized. We're depolarizing that vibration. We're moving it into harmony. We're moving it into peace. So that's what we're going to do here in this demonstration of conflict elimination technique today. So again, if you've been here from the beginning, if you've seen everything since day one, then you pretty much already know the process. So again, I'm just going to go through the full demonstration, and then again we'll pick it apart once again, and then we're going to go to questions. Okay. So what's this? That's the goal hand. What's this? That's the conflict hand. All right. So we always start off with 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out the nose, bringing spirit light into the body. Okay, let me just move over here so you can see my hand more. Okay, here we go. We'll begin. I'm surrendering this to spirit. I'm surrendering this to spirit. I am making peace with my loved ones. I am making peace with my loved ones. I'm letting go of all the animosity. I'm letting go of all the conflict. I'm letting go of all the polarity. I'm keeping myself neutral. I'm keeping myself at peace. I love my family for who they are. I am not concerned about their views. I am not concerned about how they decide to live their life. I simply love them for who they are. And I will continue to love them for who they are. Because I will always see them at peace. I will always see them at peace, even if they do not. And I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go of the conflict. I want peace with my loved ones. I want peace with my family. I want peace with my spouse. I want peace with my children. And I know that it must come through me first. It must come through me. It must come through me. I'm letting go of all the animosity. I'm letting go of all the conflicts. I'm surrendering it to God. I'm surrendering it to God. I'm surrendering it to God. I'm bringing all of that peace into myself. I am at home with my peace. I am at home with my heart. I am at home with my joy. And I love my family exactly how they are. I do not need to change them. It is I myself that can only be changed. I'm giving it to God. I'm giving it to God. I'm surrendering it to God. Surrendering it to God. I am the one who must be at peace. I am the one who must be at peace. No more fighting, no more conflicts, no more disagreements based upon opinions and views. I want to see my family as souls, not as bodies, not as material life, but as souls, as infinite beings, as pure love. This is how I feel. This is my true nature. I am at peace in my heart with this goal. I am at home with this goal. Okay, so that would be conflict elimination. Okay, now guys, that is just what works for me. Does not mean that what I share together with those affirmations are going to work for you. Okay, everybody is unique. So like I said, especially when we're looking at family conflicts, we want to look into very helpful mantras, affirmations that will reinforce ourselves to being able to let go of those conflicts. Okay, this is the hardest thing I know for a person to do. When I tell them that as well too, when I even tell people, you can't change anybody. I can't. Right, their eyes just bulge like a cartoon. I can't change them. No, you can't. And that's one of the most difficult things for a person to accept. Well, what if I just negotiate with them a little bit more? What if I tell them this? No, you're basically trying to be a tyrant. You're trying to say that you have to obey it in this way. You have to be like this, otherwise we're going to have separation. Okay? And that's not how you love a loved one. Okay? It's not about force. It's not about threats. It's not about fighting. And they have to realize the same thing. They can't change you. And you can't change them. Right? So that's the most important thing. The only person I can ever change is myself. And everything in my reality, with every other soul reflection who is here, all I'm doing is I'm seeing them as they are. I have no animosity. I have no desire to change them. I have no desire to feel like they're walking a wrong path and I'm the one that's responsible for me to go in and fix them. I have to drop all of that. It's that internal battle. Because what are you afraid of? You're afraid you're going to lose your family, but that's impossible. Your family is with you on a soul level. Okay? You have to look at yourselves as souls. You look at yourself as infinite beings. You're not getting hung up in all of this claptrap about politics and medical opinions and states of the world, agenda affairs, all of that. You start putting all of that forward and you start getting into arguments, well, then you're basically just causing a lot of tremors within your family stabilization. And you're just putting yourself through more misery. It's you yourself that's just going through the misery. And so that's one of the common conflicts we get when it comes to disruption with loved ones. We are in misery. And we are clinging on to family like they're an attachment. And they're not an attachment. They're love. Right? They're you. They are your very soul. And so when you start looking at it in this way and saying, doesn't matter, my dad may have a complete and total view, different view of how he sees the world in comparison to me, I don't care. He is my father, and I love him. There you go. You've just completely diffused the entire situation right there. And even if they want to get into these discussions, and yeah, just go ahead and talk. Yep. I know this is happening, this is happening. Yep, okay. Very good. All right. Great. Well, you're a champ. You're a champion. You're great for sharing all this, right? And I'm going to go get the vaccine and blah, 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 blah. Okay? And they'll start talking about all that. And so, okay, if that's what you want, I certainly would not suggest that. But if that's what you want to do, I can't stop you, right? I can't stop you from living your life. I certainly don't agree if you want to get poked. But again, if that's your decision, it's your life, right? But nonetheless, I will always love you because you're my father. I will always love you. Wow, he's changed today. He's so much nicer. He's not battling with me anymore because I'm at peace with my loved ones. Okay? Same thing with my wife or my husband, my kids, my grandkids, my uncle, my aunt. Okay? It's the same thing. If we just start battling because we want to insert our views, then we're polarized. Okay, we're coming from a place of mischief. We're coming from a place of misery. We're coming from a place of attachment. We're coming from a place of fear. We're coming from a place of shame. Right? So this is, again, part of the conflicts that we are clearing out here altogether. All right? So I'm going to break down again what I was doing. Just give me a moment here, guys. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to break down exactly what I was doing here from the beginning. And like I said, if this is a conflict that you guys are going through, then like I said, you have to find your 3 mantras. Okay, your 3 affirmations, your three mantras that really hit hard to you, right? That really strike a chord and say, wow, when I say this, I feel I can really let this go. Okay, that's really the whole nature of conflict elimination. We want to find just the elements that we are able to custom into our process and really make an impact with ourselves. So starting from the very beginning, which I didn't cover, I just wanted to go right into the demonstration. But what's the first thing that we do? Okay, so firstly, we have to acknowledge that we have conflicts towards our goal. Okay, so again, we're working with our imagination and saying, yeah, here's my loved ones, and I'm constantly battling with them, and they're so mad at me because I'm not doing this, or because I'm not getting involved with this, and I'm not getting vaccinated, or I'm not doing all this, and now they're fuming at me. Okay, so what do I do? What do I do in that situation? Well, let's take a look at that. Okay, here's your family, and here's you. And so here you are in imagination. If I was to take away all of their inflammatory remarks, if I was to take away all of their conditioning and expectation of you, and I was to take that and put that into a ball, and I threw that out the window, how would you feel? Well, I feel great because I'm just at peace with my family. Great. That's where we want to stay. We want to keep that in imagination. Okay? So we look past all the conflicts, we look past all the conditioning, we look past all the hurt, and we throw that out the window. Right? And then we move ourselves into a state of peace. Right? Now, again, it may even come into more extremes. We're saying, well, Brad, they're threatening to kick me out of the house if I don't get this done. They're threatening to kick me out of the house if I don't fall in line in that way. Well, again, this again just comes to a point where there is, yes, a bullying situation. So there's a consequence. There's a fight going on. But it doesn't matter. We're still at peace with it. Right? We're not rocking the boat. We're still staying completely at peace, and our response is, I love you, I love you, I love you. Right? Very similar to like when you look at the Canadian Freedom Convoy, and the government was bullying them around, and all the convoy was doing was basically just shouting, I love you, you are me, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay? That's the answer. It's peace. Okay? And I know everybody has a very different situation pertaining to their loved ones and to their family members. But the best thing that you can do is to basically just keep yourself at peace. Keep yourself in center. Because that's when you see the bigger picture. That's when you're able to heal all of this. And when you're actually able to sit down with your family and just tell them that you love them no matter what, things can change. As you shift out of these things, your reality changes. And one minute they may say this, the next minute they may be saying something completely different because you've changed, right? So that's what we're doing in this situation. This is why I wanted to make it an example today, because this is a very, very, very big thing that people are going through regarding their disharmony to what they're feeling in regards to their family, right? So again, it's the same thing as if we were working on our physical body, as if we were working on our mental and emotional body, right? It's our physical body, it's our mental body, it's our emotional body as it relates to our environment, as it relates to our life foundation, our life circle, right? So again, we're just going into a place and saying, okay, where do you imagine all of this harmonizing? Can you imagine yourself now completely clear of all of that family trauma and just being completely at peace, okay? Some of you may say yes, and some of you may say no. And if you need a little bit more time, well, that's where BCR technique comes in, okay? That's where we just need to soften. We need to soften all of these things because, yes, family may just get out of control and they may have demands and they may act like tyrants and saying, you do this or else, you got to do this or else, okay? But we have to remember, we've chosen these particular parents as soon as we came into this life. That's the true reality there, okay? We've chosen these parents. Right? So the only way that we're ever going to bring peace to the situation is when we are at peace ourselves in regards to the situation. We're no longer fighting. And like I said, we see all of that shifting. We see the emotions of ourself shifting away. We're working with BCR technique. We're working with conflict elimination. And we're shifting away these emotions of separation consciousness. Okay? So that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing again in imagination. Yes, I can feel myself at peace. All right. So that again answers the first question. Can you, through your imagination, reach your goal clear of all the conflicts? Yes. Number 2, are you ready to make this happen now? Yes. Okay. So remember, we got our 2 questions. We want to make sure we're going into imagination. We're able to see a situation, see a reality where we are completely free of those polarizing views. And then we ask the 2 questions. Good, yes and yes. Now we go into conflict elimination technique. All right, so what's this? Our goal hand. What's this? Our conflict hand. Again, it can be this way too. Doesn't matter. So, once again, remembering to do the 3 deep breaths. Breathing in spirit light. Breathing out spirit light. Breathing in spirit light. Breathing out spirit light. Once again, breathing in spirit light. Breathing out spirit light. Okay, spirit light can be any color you want. Transparent, gold, white, silver, blue, doesn't matter. Okay, but you're breathing in and breathing out the spirit light. And the simplest thing, and this is what makes conflict elimination so simple, is that we're just getting spirit to take care of this. This is why when you hear me say a lot of the mantras, it's about God is taking care of this. I'm surrendering this to God. I'm surrendering this to spirit. Spirit will take care of this. And spirit does. Spirit does every single time. We clear that out and we witness our reality transitioning. We see it go through a gradual transformation because we're changing, right? If we try to go to the outside and try to force something to change, it's not going to happen, right? It's just going to cause more and more buildup of polarization. And we want to clear away polarization. We don't want to be polarized. We want to be whole. We want to be neutral. We want to be centered. So again, we have to look into our 3 affirmations. And like I said, if you have more, if you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's fine too as well. Just write them down, okay? And make sure they really strike a chord with you. So if I basically say, I'm surrendering this to God, how does that make you feel? Does that feel good? Does that strike a chord with you? When I say that, I surrender this to God. To me, absolutely strikes a chord. Okay, so I write that down. I surrender this to God. Okay, what's another one? Okay, if it's about family members, I'm letting my family members be who they are because I love them nonetheless. Okay, I'm letting my family members be who they are because I love them nonetheless. Period. I realize I can only change myself and no one else. That's a good one. I realize I can no longer change myself and no one else. Okay, so even if I'm just writing something down and I have my eyes open and I'm looking at that and I'm remembering these mantras before I even do the conflict elimination, I'm memorizing them, right? Even if I have to put them up in my face here and I have to open my eyes while I'm doing this, I can do that too. But I want to really feel like you're saying this not in a regurgitated robot fashion, okay? When you're saying your mantras, when you're saying your affirmations, you are saying them with your full heart, right? You are completely full-hearted with that. You're putting your heart into saying those affirmations, right? I'm surrendering this to God. It's not like, I am surrendering this to God, but I don't really care anyways, okay? That's not going to get you anywhere. You want to make sure you're putting your expression in this. You're putting your feelings behind the affirmations that you're saying because they strike a chord with you. They penetrate you. So you want to make sure that you're working together with that very strongly, making sure that the affirmations that come together are ones that really strike a chord with you, that hit home, okay? So again, we are stating the affirmations. We're starting to feel the hand. Like I said, about 85 to 90% of it will be automatic, okay? Until we reach a clenched fist, okay? Once we're at the clenched fist, we go to part 2. Part 2 representing the second sweep. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Nice and slowly, just doing a second scan if there's some residuals there. We go ahead, we do the affirmations again, and we keep doing it. So like I said, with me, you're seeing it going pretty fast, okay? With yourselves, it may take a little bit longer. It may take you 10 or 15 minutes to finish the first round. That's okay. Just keep working with your affirmations. Just keep repeating it. Your attention is here. It's on your goal. You've seen it already in your imagination. You saw yourself completely at peace with your loved ones. Your intention is to get to your goal. Okay, so here's the conflicts in the way. Whose responsibility is it to release your conflicts? Spirits, source, the soul, the higher self, God, creator, not you. Okay? It's not the lower self. It's not the conscious self that is trying to do this. Okay? This is where some people may mess up. because they're trying to use their ego, they're trying to use their conscious self to do this, and you can't. Okay? This is Spirit's job. Spirit's job is to bring you from here to here. Okay? That is Spirit source, that is God, that is the light, that is your soul, that is the higher self. That is its job. Its job is to bring you there. Okay? So you are not letting your ego clear away the conflict, right? Your ego is in the background. You've breathed it out. That's why you're doing the spirit light breath. You're taking the ego, it's in the background. Your intention as the conscious self is to be right here. That's all I want you to do. I want you to be right at your goal. 90% of your attention is there. 10% is over here. Okay? And so as you say these affirmations, like I said, this is why your hand is mainly acting automatic. It just naturally starts to drop. Okay? When I work with people in sessions, when they're doing conflict elimination with me, I just tap into their energy and I say these affirmations to them. And they can even bring in their own if they want, but mostly they just want to concentrate. And so I'm giving them the affirmations, they're hearing it, and I'm seeing their fist go down. And this is so extremely helpful, especially from a healer's perspective, because I can see how far they're going. And I can see when they're stuck as well, too. And when they're stuck, I tap into them, I see what they're going through, and I create new affirmations for them that are helping them to go all the way. Because some people, like I said, I see them doing this, and I said, no, you're not there yet. Clench your fist. Fist has to be clenched, 100%. Good. Now we go into part 2. Now we go into the second sweep. And some have been able to see it open up a little bit. And some have actually been able to really feel that full release, and their hand doesn't budge. That's great. Like I said, the more that you're doing conflict elimination technique, you're doing it constantly, it's going to be simple. At first, you might actually be a little bit intimidated by it. You say, well, Brad, you're saying I can't really move my hand. You're moving a little bit, but most of it is just naturally being formed into a fist because the energy is moving it by itself. Okay? So this is what we need to work with, is trusting the process. Like I said, when you work with BCR technique first, that's going to help to enlarge your heart and bring your strength forward. Okay? Then when we go into conflict elimination technique, you already have that experience. You already have that background. You've already been able to soften a lot of these things. So this is why I'm kind of showing you kind of like the raw situation of what happens if we're just working with conflict elimination freshly, but we're not actually working with BCR first. When you work with BCR first, it will not be as difficult to clear a lot of these things out because your heart is big, your love is strong, and you already have the might knowing that you are able to surpass any conflict. But family, right, loved ones, is one of the biggest ones. That's a big challenge for a lot of people, and I get that. I basically came from a dysfunctional family myself, so I know what you guys are talking about, right? I had to forgive them all. Not really forgive them, but forgive the emotions within me that had animosity towards them, right? Because like I said, you don't have to forgive other people. But I had to forgive the emotions within me that had animosity towards them. So those emotions needed to be forgiven. I had to do a lot of work with that, even before I invented the BCR technique, even before I did conflict elimination. Okay, I had to go in the old days, before I didn't have any of this stuff. You guys are a mile ahead. So I'm giving you guys super sharp methods here that are so incredibly simple that I did not have. I had to figure it out more the long way. So this is why I'm kind of spoiling you guys. I'm giving you guys a treat here. Because once you start to work with this, you are going to go miles ahead of people that basically just try and meditate on this. They try to breathe it out. Right? I was looking at many different tactics to try and clean this out. And I was working with light circuitry in the past and all that. And it helped to a certain degree. But when I look at light circuitry and all that stuff, it's nowhere near as powerful as what BCR is, as what conflict elimination is, and of course what the EQ method is, right? But that's a method for another time. Okay, so that's my demonstration that I wanted to share with you guys today. So let's go to any questions. Okay, so if you guys do have any questions, and Amy, thank you for your donation. Appreciate that. Okay, so there was just some spammer that was on the chat here. I just had to clear them away. Okay, so let's go to any questions here. Anne says, it took me a long time to close my hands, probably not totally at peace with my sisters. That happens. It certainly does. Like I said, it may take you some time. It may take you 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, so forth. Like I said, the most important thing is that you're working with affirmations that are reinforcing yourself. Eventually, you'll come to the point where you won't even need to do affirmations. But this is just part of the process for the conflict elimination technique, is that you're using affirmations as a powerful reinforcement. What we do in BCR technique is we use the perfect place. We use the reinforcement space. And that's kind of like our affirmation, right? We're creating all of this love energy and it's soaring through us. And that's our reinforcement. When we're working together with conflict elimination, our affirmations are our reinforcement. Okay? So we're using powerful affirmations. And like I said, even if you got to spend some time just having your notebook and just thinking things out and say, okay, I surrender this to God. How does that make me feel? Does that strike a chord with me? Yes. Oh, maybe not. Okay? So I'm letting this go. I'm moving this. I'm taking this out of here. Right? So you're working with different forms of mantras, and you're finding which ones really strike a chord with you. Right? My heart is now at peace. Oh, I like that one. Okay, my heart is now at peace. I'm completely at home with my goal. Yeah, that feels good. Spirit is taking care of this for me. I no longer have to be concerned about it. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so you're just looking at these affirmations and see what touches your heart, right? What strikes a chord with you, what penetrates you through those affirmations. Okay, some of you who are quite visual may actually be able to visualize a certain type of affirmation. You can just see yourself hugging your family, for example, right? You just see them and you're hugging your family members and you're just smiling and you're teary-eyed and you just feel such release. There's a visual affirmation. Okay, that too is fine because again, our goal is, like I said, our conscious self is down here, but we're just letting that reinforcement happen so that our fist becomes clenched. So any particular type of affirmation, whether it's through words or even it's visual, that's fine as well too. You may just be visualizing yourself just hugging your family, and again, it may just cause you to cry a great deal, but it's helping. It's causing you to clench your fist. Okay? So we want to really spend time with that. We're going to say, what's the affirmations that I can do? Should I do word affirmations? Should I do visual affirmations? If I'm a very visual person, I'm going to do visual affirmations. If I'm not too visual, then I'll just work with words. Either way, that's fine. Okay? It's up to you. It's your exercise. Okay? You're turning conflict elimination into your own practice. Let it work for you. Okay? So let's go down here a bit more. Hi, Joni. I'm glad to hear your work. You're loving the technique. That's good to hear. So Valentina asks, what would the wording be? The broken promise from a soulmate, grief, deep sorrow, waiting for him one lifetime after another. Okay. Well, basically in that sense is that you're completely insecure with yourself, right? You haven't learned how to be in your own relationship, okay? And this too, something very common in many of the sessions I've done with clients, okay? They are longing for this partner, okay? I know what that's like because that's exactly how I was years back as well too. I know how you feel, okay? I was like that many years ago myself, okay? And what I learned to do was heal my own heart, okay? Because I did not feel I was good enough. I basically had self-shame, okay? So shame is the big conflict with that. You don't think you're good enough, and yet you want this divine dream partner to come into your life and just rock your world. That's not going to happen, okay? Not trying to be a buzzkill to you guys, but that's just the truth because I used to be the same way. Trying to find this divine partner that will come in and just enrich my life because I'm not good enough. And that never worked. Relationship after relationship I was getting involved in, it ended very shortly because that was Spirit telling me, Brad, that's not the way. It's not the way. You have to be content with yourself first. You have to clear away this self-shame. You have to clear away this lack of self-worth. You have to clear away this dependency. Okay? So that's dependency upon others because it's abandonment. It's abandonment and it's rejection. And in some ways, it can also be abuse. And in some ways, it can also be addiction, because we're addicted to try and find this knight in shining armor, or this angelic goddess coming into our life, and feel we need to bring them into our life because as soon as I have this divine partner in life, then I'm happy. No. No. You are trying to place your happiness on an object. You are trying to place your happiness on a person. And that's wrong. That doesn't work. And you're only doing that because you have really no form of contentment with yourself. You're in shame. You're in defeat. You're highly dependent on somebody else to make you happy. And that all comes from a wounded heart. We got to heal that heart. And that took me years to heal. Okay, it took me years to heal that heart because, again, I didn't have BCR technique. I didn't have conflict elimination. If I certainly had that, I probably could have healed a lot faster. Right? So this is the important thing. A lot of us want a soulmate, and I get that. And you can totally have a soulmate. That's cool. But firstly, be content with who you are. You have to realize that you are the source of your happiness. Okay? Your soulmate, your divine partner, is not the source of your happiness. They are a complement to it. Okay? They're a complement to your happiness, but they are not the source. This is why some people realize, I don't really need a partner. I'm completely content and completely happy with who I am, and I don't mind being on my own. That's great. Some others may say, I'm completely happy and content with my happiness. And if I do bring about a partner, that's great because I know that they're going to be a great complement to that happiness. So I'm certainly open to it if it happens. Great. But even through those two examples, there is no need, there is no desire, there is no wanting for a partner. Not at all. Because you've been able to heal your heart. Okay? And like I said, you may decide to get involved in relationships. And when those relationships happen and they fall apart, you got to pay attention to that. You got to pay attention to why did a relationship fail, right? And I have to look back into myself. And like I said, I can only use myself as an example. It's because, again, I was seeing them in such a higher light than they were seeing themselves. And I felt I needed them. I had to desire them so greatly because I did not feel adequate. And that's what caused the severing, right? That I had to rely upon them for my happiness because I was there too, guys. I know what that's like, okay? And that's a trap. And that's defeatism, and that's going to lead to a very short relationship, okay? It's not enough because then you start attracting people who are the same that way, and you can't communicate properly, and it just blows up. You have such high expectations of your partner has high expectations of you, it doesn't work out, and it spontaneously combusts, okay? And it shatters. The way for you to move forward into a divine union is firstly you have to see yourself as divine, right? So as I am divine, and if I'm open to bringing another partner into my life, this is why I have my fiance, right? It's actually our 1-year engagement anniversary today. Interesting that I'm talking about this. So we were engaged just 1 year ago on her birthday, and her birthday's today as well too. So again, that's what I had to do. I had to heal my heart. I basically saw the broken pieces of the heart and I had to put it back together because there was shame, there was abandonment, there was rejection, there was abuse, there was addiction to the partner. Okay, it was all of them. There was all of that there. All of the traumas were there. And you have to go in and you have to neutralize every single one. You have to be at peace with completely everything that you are. And that's healing the heart. As you heal the heart and now you feel content with who you are, a partner can now show up. And now that partner shows up and now you're amazed at how well the two of you get along. Because you're seeing that that partner is also doing inner work as well too. And they're clearing themselves up. They're a mirror for you. So if you're insecure, if you're filled with shame, if you're in states of embarrassment, if you're feeling disappointed or in despair, well, guess what? Your partner will show up and they will show signs of that as well too. And now you will clash. And now you will fight. And now you will battle because you're both insecure. You're both heartbroken. You've both been hurt. And you haven't been doing your inner work to clear it up. But when you do clear it up, the person that you're going to attract is going to be doing something of the same. And it's a wonderful thing. That's the story of my fiance and I. Okay? Because we've been off and on for several years. During the times when we both needed to heal. Okay, she had some bad relationships, I had some bad relationships, and we got into the mix still in that array of trouble. All right? And feeling heartbroken. So we had to spend years healing ourselves. Sometimes we healed each other, right? Working together and encouraging one another to heal, because of course we always do the healing work with ourselves, but we become the encourager, the supporter. Okay? And maybe I'll do some more videos with Kelly down the line here, so you guys can, I'm constantly encouraging her to do that. So it's just a matter of getting her on camera, and we talk together. But we are planning to do that. So again, just healing the heart. Right? And then when the heart really starts to feel content, Kelly came back in my life, right? And it was a relationship that was even greater than the times previously to which we've been together, okay? So I'm telling you guys this from personal experience, because I've had quite a few different partners in the past that I, again, felt like I needed, felt like I desired them so deeply, okay? So when we're looking at that in conflict elimination, we're looking at shame. Okay, we're looking at abandonment, we're looking at rejection, we're looking at abuse, we're looking at addiction to a partner because we feel insecure, we feel ashamed, we feel completely distraught with ourselves, we don't trust ourselves, we don't think that we're good enough. Okay, those are a big list of conflicts right there, and it's so very, very common. Okay, you're not alone. It's a very common thing, and that would be one of the things I would suggest working with BCR technique first. Level 1, okay? Level 1 healing, BCR technique, widen your heart. Make your heart strong. Then when you go into conflict elimination, this is no problem. Taking care of it really, really quickly. Okay? So thank you, Valentina, for bringing that up, because that's very, very important. That's a very good, process that we have to work on. So it's a very common one. Okay, Bridget asks, please, what does BCR stand for again? Okay? Breath work, calmness, reinforcement. Okay, so we start off with breath work. That breath work brings us into calmness. And then once we're in calmness, we move into reinforcement. That reinforcement is your own mind space. Okay, you are going inside your perfect place that lives inside you. And the goal of BCR technique is that you're constantly going back into that perfect space, that heavenly space, that reinforcement space, different names for it. Okay? You're going back to that space so much that you naturally live inside that space, even if that space is constantly changing every time. That space is now fruitfully alive inside you, which means you have cultivated this haven. You've cultivated this heaven, this paradise that exists in you, because you're constantly going back to it every single day, and now it becomes hard-coded in your mind. I'm just going to go into my reinforcement space. I'll take care of this. The love is flowing through me. My heart is getting strong. Heart's getting bigger. And now I command the love energy. Love energy, this is what I want you to do today. And we do that again and again and again and again. And now your heart gets huge. It gets strong. You're living at the top of the mountain. You're at the summit. And now you're living from the inside. Exactly like what I'm attempting to teach you guys, is to learn to live inside the heart. When you learn to live inside the heart, you will be able to let every conflict go. And so when we're doing conflict elimination, it's just thorough cleaning again and again and again, because I've built the foundation in BCR. I did my 30-day BCR technique challenge, which, by the way, is on Brad's YouTube channel under playlists. It's also in the video description of this video. And I did those 30 days. And people, again, are asking for shortcuts. Brad, can I just do 15 days? Nope. I want you to do 30. About 22 days. Nope. I want you to do 30. Okay? That's the requirement. I will not accept any less days than that. Okay? If you really want to get the full effect of the BCR technique, you do it for 30 days. I'm not saying you have to watch every single video once a day for every day. You could go ahead and you could skip ahead and you could watch all 30 videos in one day if you want to. That doesn't matter to me. What matters is that you are doing BCR technique once a day, every day at least. Okay? You get your 30 days, and now you have a foundation. Now you go into conflict elimination, no problem. clearing this out, clearing that out, clearing this out, clearing that out. Because those 30 days is what it takes to establish that love foundation within yourself. And now you do conflict elimination, everything feels so simple. Because now you see that you are bigger than any conflict that exists. Okay? All right, so let's just go down the list here a bit more. Okay, Marla just says here, I'll do the 30-day BCR challenge, and if I don't feel like I get to where I want to, I'll schedule a prep. Believe me, you will get where you want to. I have yet to meet a person who has done the BCR technique who says, yeah, Brad, it didn't work for me. No, it did. It most certainly did. Especially when you're doing 30 days of it, right? If you feel like something doesn't work with you, you're not really going to do it for 30 days. You may do it for a couple of days and that's it, and you throw it away. Don't throw it away. Okay, that's just my recommendation to you, is don't throw it away. It works. You have to get on your own side. You have to commit to it. And if you commit to it, that's what's going to make a big difference. Okay, so commit to it. Know that you can change. I'm only teaching you guys who you really are. Okay, so whether you're doing BCR technique and then you graduate into conflict elimination, you're doing these techniques, they're all here to show you who you really are. That's the important thing here about taking that out now, is we want to make sure that we're doing this work because it's moving you back into the natural self. Okay? By you guys not wanting to do this and feeling like you're being completely bombarded by conflicts, you're not being yourself. Okay? You are being the complete and total opposite of yourself. You're walking the inverted path, as I've talked about before. That's what happens, and I've met people, I even did one with a client yesterday, completely held on to her conflicts because they were identity. And I don't want to clear away those conflicts because they're identity. Right? I don't want to get out of this. I don't feel I can get out of it, right? It's my identity. Right? And so with that person, we have to work in just softening those conflicts. We have to soften those traumas. We just keep putting love energy into it every single day, and we soften it and soften it and soften it and soften it to the point where you know that you're able to defeat it. You're able to completely dissolve it away. That's our goal in BCR, is to make yourself bigger than any conflict. Okay? And no, you're right. It's not for everybody. This course is not for everybody. If it was for everybody, I'd have every single one of my subscribers here watching this feed and people being able to do this. But a very small percentage of my subscribers actually do the BCR technique. A very small percentage of my subscribers here are actually watching conflict elimination technique. Many of them are much more interested in New Earth insights, talking about current events, and that's fine. But again, this is really what I'm about, is from a healer's perspective, showing you guys about what works so that you can move into this yourself, so that you can be free. You can be free from all the conflicts and all the melodramas of the world, because it doesn't matter. Your soul, who you truly are inside, is the only thing that actually matters. All right? So that's my take on it. Okay. Son of Superman, SOS, said, slowing down like you told me to yesterday helped. Good. All right. That sounds good. This is from Fortune. I can't close hands firmly. Close it as fast, then no resistance, feel calm. Okay. So you can't close hands. So just close your hand as best as you can. Okay. If you cannot close it down like a clenched fist, I had another person who was like that as well too. Said, Brad, I can't really do a clenched fist. I can't reach it that much. All right. So I'd say, well, show me what you feel would be a closed fist. And they did something like this. Okay. So that's your clenched fist. If that's as far as you can go, then that's as far as you can go. That's just what your fist allows. And right, that happens. There may be some atrophy. There may be some physical issues with the fist, and maybe you're not able to close it all the way, saying, Brad, this is as far as I can go. Okay. So I would say to that person, then that's your clenched fist. Okay. If this is as far as you can go, that is your clenched fist. All right. So that's fine. So just accommodate that. Adapt, and that'll be fine. But nonetheless, we want to get to the equivalent of a clenched fist if you are not able to clench your fist. So just do that. Okay? Okay. Thank you for the congrats, guys. That's nice. Yeah, happy birthday to Kelly. Well, the funny thing, her birthday is on March 9th. Mine's on March 22nd. So we're basically 13 days apart. So it's pretty nice. So it's great. So I'll be celebrating her birthday today. And on the 22nd, we will do something as well, too. So I take the 22nd off of March. That's my special birthday time. So I'm looking forward to that, too. Turning 21, by the way. Okay. All right, so just give me a moment here, guys. I'm just looking down the list here. Yeah, I know you guys like it when I share personal experiences. I mean, I pretty much have to at some particular point because I have to use myself as an example. And like I said, guys, I don't just come on here and start blabbing about stuff that I know nothing about. Like everything I teach you guys, I have been through. I have experienced it. I've developed it. I've used it. And I get results from it. And if I have not done anything like that, I will never teach you guys anything that I have not gotten results with. Okay? So me as a teacher, me as a healer, I will always teach you guys things that I have done myself and that I have gotten results from myself, okay? I will never ever teach you guys anything that I feel I could not do myself or have not taught through myself to experience, okay? That's what you have to do. If you want to be a good teacher, if you want to be a good guide, a good helper, you have to be the example. And that's exactly what I do with everything I teach on this channel, guys. I will always teach by example, okay? I'll never ever give you guys something that I don't think I could do myself. So that, again, is very, very important. We have to lead by example. Have to. So personal experiences, yes, that will come into play too. Okay, that's another one here from Marla. Question, Brad. At the hot tub last night, there were 4 men in the pool area. My mind kept running scenes, not good ones. I would stop each one, but then it would happen again. How to heal this? Why are you stopping each one? That, again, is what I'm talking about, Marla. You are putting fences, and you are putting gates, and you are putting walls upon yourself. Do not force your thoughts to stop. Okay? That is a dead end. Because guess what happens? That's like looking at a little kid, right? Who just feels like they're rambunctious, they're temperamental, they're highly energized, they're hyperactive, and you keep saying, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that. What are they going to do? They're going to keep running amok. They're going to run laps around you. Okay? So what would happen if you keep telling your mind, oh, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that? It's going to be doing this. And it's going to continue to run around. That's not the way. Okay? So Marla, this is what I'm talking about, is that you have to let go of these boundaries. You are putting up these walls. You are putting up these barriers. And you have to learn to melt them down. Okay? So what do you do with that rambunctious kid that's just running around? You just sit down, and you let them run around. You let them have fun. You let them play. You let them make noise, because at some particular point, it's going to tire itself out. Okay? Same thing with your thoughts. Okay, if I'm basically seeing men or women in the pool, right, and my mind's running scenes about them, so what? So what? That is the mentality. Okay, I'm sitting in a pool. Here's 4 women in bikinis right here. All right, sitting right next to me in the pool. Maybe my mind's going a little bit wild and it's starting to develop some scenarios. That's just the monkey mind, the lower mind altogether. What am I doing? I'm just sitting, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And I'm not even giving attention to the thoughts. It's like I said, I'm not even giving attention to the child that's just running around and playing. Let them play. Let them run around. I'm not going to be a tyrant. I'm not going to tell them what they can and can't do. They want to run around and play and enjoy themselves and being all rambunctious and all that. They're not being destructive. They're not tearing anything apart. They're just running around. They're just hyperactive. Let them. Let your thoughts be hyperactive. Let it run around. You're not giving it any power. You're not giving it any attention whatsoever. You are neutralizing the sensory perceptions. Okay, guys, this is a yogic technique. Okay, they teach about the idea of sensory withdrawal in yoga. And what they teach you to do is if all those thoughts are coming up, yeah, you see the thoughts, you witness them there, but you're not giving them any power. You just withdraw from them. You just let them run around, run their course. You're not paying attention to them, right? They keep doing this and they keep spinning. You're not paying attention to them. They go away, okay? You are not telling your thoughts to stop it. Okay, that is a trap and that will get nowhere. Do not tell your thoughts to stop. Do not tell your lower mind to shut up or to be quiet, because that's what it's going to do to you. And it's going to keep running around and running around and running around. You're driving crazy. Ah, why are you being driven crazy? Because you're attaching to the thoughts. You're not learning to let yourself just be. Just be. And I just stay like that. Blah, 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 blah. Don't pay attention to a single one of them. And they start to fall away. Because all I'm focusing on is my breathing. And I stay like that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And before I know it, thoughts have cleared away. If you feed your thoughts, they will increase. If you feed your thoughts, they will amplify. If you feed your thoughts, telling them to shut up, to stop it, to knock it off, come on, I don't want to hear these scenes, that's what it's doing to you. Okay? It's going to be rebellious. That's what the lower mind does. That's the thought mind. But where are you? You're up here. You're in the higher mind because you're working with the breath, just like what we learned with BCR. Okay? We do the deep cleansing breath. And we go into heart rate variability. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Add the seconds. Add an extra 2 seconds on your exhale. Now it's 7 seconds and 9 seconds out, etc. And we're just staying with the breath. And as I stay with the breath, the mind naturally starts to calm down. And now we go into reinforcement after calmness, and we start to build up our heart, making it bigger and bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger and stronger. Brad, why the heck do we do that? Because when we make the heart bigger and stronger, we have all of this pure strength that we call love energy inside of us to command. And now we can command that love energy to go and take care of that conflicting energy and soften it to the point where it becomes vapor. And it's gone. The only reason you have a rambunctious mind, Marla, is because of your emotional states. Your emotions feed thoughts. Your traumas feed thoughts. When those emotions and those traumas are subdued, you do not have those rambunctious thoughts because there's no emotion to feed them. You've harmonized your emotions. You've harmonized your traumas. And you continue to do the work as you move into conflict elimination, doing a thorough cleaning, completely eliminating them over and over again. And it's like when I go into meditation now, no thoughts, none at all, blank slate. It's so funny. Some psychiatrists are actually saying, you know what? It's actually impossible for us to stop our thinking. And I would say, you're full of crap. In the nicest way, you're full of crap. It is absolutely possible to stop your thinking. Okay? Why some people do not think it's possible is because they live with their emotions. They live with their conflicts. They live as reacting people. They react. They react. They react. And as long as you keep reacting, you're feeding your emotions. As long as you keep reacting, you're feeding your traumas. You're giving them food. You're sustaining them. You're giving them sustenance. But when you learn to go inside and you do something just like these techniques, or if you're doing yoga for several years and you finally get it, and saying that I've been feeding these emotions, and these emotions have been feeding these thoughts, and this is why there's a rambunctious jungle of activity in my mind that does not seem to stop. I get it now. All I have to do is clear away my emotional states. I have to clear away my traumas, and love energy is the antidote to that. Because when we're moving up here into higher mind, that's love. That's contentment. That's peace. That's tranquility. That's harmony. That's stability. Stabilization. All of those traits are one. We go into stable higher mind. And in stable higher mind, you are content, you are at peace, you are loving, you are compassionate, you are joyful, you are blissful. That's what you're learning through BCR. For 30 days. Then you do conflict elimination. For maybe another 30 days. You clear it out. Within 2 months, you're noticing now your mind is as empty as a jar. Okay? I can tell you this, guys, because I've achieved it. Because I've done it. Right? You are talking to a person who is experienced with this. That's how it works. Does not matter if you're a man or a woman. Doesn't matter if you're a kid or a senior, middle-aged adult. Doesn't matter. It works for everybody. So please keep that in mind. Do not control your thoughts. Do not tell them to stop. Instead, let them be. And neutralize yourself. And stay with the breath. And go all the way up to the top of the higher mind. And those thoughts will not follow you. That's how it works. Okay? Okay, so this is from H. Anderson. The BCR is getting easier and easier. We're going to probably take another few minutes here, guys. We're going to wrap up. The BCR is getting easier and easier. It's like my body and persona actually craves it each day. I look at it as my honoring of my time. Honoring of me time. And this technique is so helpful. It feels wonderful. H. Anderson, that's fantastic. Okay. And that's great. So what H. Anderson is sharing here is what quite a few other people who are on my app or my Telegram group for BCR. And if you go to the BCR 30-day challenge in the video description, you'll see the link to the Telegram group that you can join as well too. Okay. And the people that are joining that have had great success stories as well too. I'm getting tons and tons of success stories from people who are doing BCR. Okay. It's not difficult, guys. We have come from difficulty. And what I'm trying to do is trying to teach you how it can be easy. So here's difficulty representing life. And I'm saying if you go to BCR, you're going down to easy mode. You're going down to simple mode. Okay? It's simple and it's easy, but you are the one that has to make it easy. It's the simplest of the simple. Guys, all I'm telling you to do is breathe. And continue to breathe in this special way so that you're calm. And then when you're calm, you go into your mind and you create a paradise. And you fill it with all these beautiful things that you love. And you'll just be amazed at how many people struggle to do that. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't think of a happy paradise place? No. Really? No. Really? No. Really? It surprises me every single time. Where's your inner child? I don't know. You don't know? No. And I say, well, what is the last time you smiled? I don't know. Okay, maybe do I have to tell you a joke? Does that make you smile? Sure. Okay, maybe I tell them a joke and then they start smiling. There you go. There's a moment where you smiled. Now that you have a smile, you have a little bit of joy that came from that. Now I want you to take that joy and I want you to expand it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and make it greater and greater and greater every single day. Okay. So then they make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and guess what? Now they can do BCR. Because that is what life has done to them. That is what living from the outside world does to you. It completely shrinks down your love. It takes all the goodness out of you and it shrivels you up like a raisin. And this is why you need to go inside. You go inside because that's your rejuvenation space, and you're taking that raisin and you're turning it into an inferno of love. Right? We have dried ourselves up stupidly by following the outside world. And you have forgotten your roots. You have forgotten who you really are. And so when we do conflict elimination, when we do BCR, we're livening ourselves up again. And like I said, guys, I've been doing this a long time. And I've talked to tens of thousands of people all over the world. And I've met some very interesting people. People who are just filled with love and can do this quite easily. Others who just don't even know what love is anymore. They don't even feel what their soul is anymore. They're shriveled up like a raisin. Because all they have been doing every single day of their life is feeding their pain. Constantly feeding pain. And constantly looking outside for a savior. Constantly looking outside thinking that the world is going to save me. And it never comes. And they shrivel themselves up more. So you guys got to really pay attention to your feelings, to your emotions, to your thoughts. And realize, okay, am I done running the hamster wheel of the outside world? And then I'm ready now to come inside and start cleaning myself up. Because if you want to go places, if you want to expand your life, if you want longevity, that's what you got to do. Cannot come from the outside. It's not going to come from your precious med beds. Okay? It's going to come through your precious divine heart. That is the longevity. That is the nectar of life. It's love. And you have to practice it. A med bed's not going to do that for you. Okay? An outside medical device is not going to do that for you. Your heart is the nectar of life. That love inside it is the actual nectar. You want to drink that every single day. And now that's what's going to expand you. That's where you can do these things that many people would consider to be superhuman to do. Right? I'm actually able to repair injuries in my body. It takes a few weeks, but it can be done. Right? Just being able to look at a wound, like I talked to you guys before, a few days ago, about a wound, about a lump in my abdomen, and how doing spiritual surgery, not seeing a doctor at all, but just getting spirit to open it up and to take out that lump and then have it healed up a couple weeks later. These are the things that you can do. You tell a doctor that, they'll think that you're reading a science fiction novel or something. I said, no, I have the scar to prove it. I even have my before pictures of that lump in my abdomen. And then opening it up, taking it out, watching that wound heal itself back up. Total of 9 weeks. Okay, this is one example, guys. You can be your own spiritual surgeon. You can clear out conflicts within the body without even having to go to a doctor. It's exactly what I've done. Right? I'm even doing it a second time as well, too, in another area. So again, this is what we're capable of. It's a great capability that we have. But this is what you get when you learn to trust spirit. This is what you get when you learn to trust your heart. All right? Okay, let's go down a little bit more. We're going to take one more question, then we're going to wrap up. Samba says, our paradise is filled with all the things I love. That is you guys, because you guys are here. That's great. That's great, too, absolutely. We have wonderful people here on the chat, so make that part of your paradise indeed. Okay. So let me end with Linda's question here. Linda says, can we clear conflicts in the gums and teeth? Absolutely you can, yeah. You guys can clear it in the gums and teeth. You guys can clear it in the nose. You guys can clear it in the eyes. You guys can clear it in the ears. You guys can clear it in the fingertips. Anywhere upon the body can absolutely be healed, because the only thing it lacks is, well, quite commonly, circulation, right? And love energy has the ability to stimulate circulation. And the circulation goes into the areas of the body that are lacking. Now, again, this is kind of like why we do certain yoga practices, right? If we do certain asanas, if we do certain breathing techniques through what yoga has taught, that's helping to encourage the circulation of the body so that you're actually now starting to see a greater healing effect taking place. But if you have, again, a certain area in the gums and teeth, maybe it's receding gums in that way, There is just a lot of receding chi, receding prana within the mouth. Okay? And that can often be how we use the mouth. Okay? Yoga will always teach you that the tongue is the most dangerous organ because of what it can do and what it can say. Okay? And there are just certain people that say certain things and do certain things with their power of speech that may not be so beneficial. And they may often have mouth injuries because of it. They may get canker sores. They may start to get receding gums. They may have problems with their tongue. They may have problems with their palate, right? That's all because of how they've used their mouth, how they've used their words, how they've used their voice. So what we need to do is we need to bring full love energy and just completely saturate the teeth and the gums with that. Okay? It's also about the idea of what we put into the mouth, right? If we're eating a lot of toxic food, then yeah, it's going to definitely take a toll because we're being ignorant to that toxicity. So like I said, love energy fills into the mouth. Love energy fills into the gums. And you're talking to the love energy. If you can get into the habit of talking to your love energy like it's a person all the time, you're going to get some profound results out of BCR. Not just that, you're just going to get profound results out of life because you're talking to your heart like it's a person. You're talking to the love energy inside your heart. It's what I've referred to in the BCR about calling it the love energy entity. Okay? If you keep talking to the heart, to the love energy, like it's a person all the time, you're going to be a beacon of health. Okay? You're going to talk to it and say, okay, go ahead and go into the gums, into the teeth. See if you can just repair all of that needs to be repaired there. Okay, we'll do that. Right? And what's really good too is even as you're talking to the love energy, you're visualizing the area of your body completely intact. You're seeing it in good health. So you may decide to do that before you even mention to it. It's okay, hang on. I'm seeing the love energy right now, and I know exactly what I want to ask it, but I just want to visualize this first. Here's my teeth and gums. I want to see my gums restored into a healthy state of being. I want to see my teeth restored into a healthy state of being. Can I visualize that? Can I see it? Yes, I can. Okay, great. Love energy, I command you to go into my teeth and gums and restore them exactly as I see them here in my mind. Let it be done. Okay. Now they go to work. Okay. And now you're doing that every day. You may ask the same request every single day. 30 days pass, you may start to look at your teeth and you may start to look at your gums. They're starting to change. They're starting to change because it's still working through time, but you're talking to that love energy like it's a person. Okay? And it's for any particular concern in the body. Okay? If we have a bad heart, we're talking to the heart to repair the heart. Okay? If we got eczema, if we got psoriasis, okay, on the skin, we're telling the love energy to take care of that. Any cords, anything that's disharmonious there, love energy, go ahead and clear it out. I'm ready to let it go. Let's clean up the skin. No problem. Over 30 days, look what happens. Within a month's time, you feel like your skin is glowing because you've got the love energy to go to work. This is not fairy tale information that I'm telling you guys. This actually works. Okay? But again, it's all based upon relationship. So your relationship with your love energy, because you're talking to it every day, and you may give it multiple tasks to perform. You may say, okay, take care of the teeth and the gums, take care of the heart, take care of the skin. Okay, those are my 3 commands, and I let that continue to play out for a month. Great, and the love energy does it because I'm constantly fueling the love. I'm constantly fueling the heart. Now I go into conflict elimination technique. I clear away all the debris there, and it's amazing. And I feel different. And I can certainly feel that with my body. I feel like my body is being completely redeveloped. Feel it a lot, and it's a wonderful feeling. Okay? So, work with that. Talk to the love energy. Make it a person. And just keep talking to it every single day. And you're going to see some amazing results as you command it to go to work for you. It's your servant. It's here to serve you. Okay? Okay, Okay, just give me a moment here, guys. Just making sure we got if there's any other interesting questions. Karen says, can I do it with gray hair in order to keep my original hair color black? Yes. Okay. The only reason why a lot of us have gray hair, myself included, is because our body has lacked essential nutrients. And if we do not get those essential nutrients in the body takes the ingredients, the proteins contained inside the hair, and it contributes that into other areas of the body, right? So we may need it for our kidneys, we may need it for our liver, we may need it for some of the bodily systems. So some of the gray shows up because we're not feeding the body properly. It's being starved of essential nutrients. This is why it's very important that you are mineralizing your body. Okay? Your body gets all of the essential nutrients and minerals it needs. Okay? This is why I've talked about the idea of getting trace mineral water, right? The water drops. Okay? Putting that in your water, drinking that every single day, making sure your body is getting all of the essential nutrients. As your body gets all of the essential nutrients and it's feeling good inside, now you can talk to the love energy to ungraying your hair, because now those proteins can be fed back into the hair follicles. Okay? And now the idea of the hair can get its vitality back. So I know what that's like. I got some gray hair myself because I wasn't going into proper nutrition myself for quite some time until recently. So I know that feeling. So yes, you can certainly bring your hair color back with love energy, but like I said, make sure you're giving it its essential minerals. Its minerals, its nutrients. The body needs that, right? Because it breaks down those minerals and they're rich with all of the good stuff that the body needs to thrive. Okay? Okay, Elizabeth says, Brad, what about eyes? What about one's eyes? Thanks. Okay, well, what about your eyes? It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, Elizabeth. Like I said, a lot of our eyes are in atrophy. Okay, we use them too much. We're staring at a screen maybe about 8 hours a day, right? We're on a computer screen here. We're staring at it all the time. And we may develop things. We could develop cataracts. We could develop glaucoma, right? We could have some eyesight difficulties, everything. So one of the best things to do is limit your time looking at a screen. Okay? Yes, you can talk to love energy, and love energy can go in there and clear it out. But again, making sure you're getting the nutrients, okay, the minerals in your body that your body needs. And again, you're limiting your time looking at a screen all day. That takes a toll on our eyes like anything we can't even imagine, guys. You're basically radiating your eyes by looking at a screen like this. This is why I've basically had to get like a special screen with a program that works with a circadian rhythm so that the eyes aren't so strained. And those are a little bit of helpers. But if we're still staring at screens for a very long time, that takes away the integrity of your eyes dramatically. Okay? It F's up your eyes big time. Best way I can put it. And I know that feeling too because it's messed up my sight because I'm doing sessions online all the time. So I do have to look at a screen. But then there's times I just go out and walk in nature. I go sit on my couch, I meditate, right? If I don't have to be on my screen, I don't want to be on my screen. And I give myself time to recover, okay? So again, technology screws up our eyes big time, majorly, okay? It is vicious to our eyesight. This is why I say if you do not have to use technology, don't use it. If you do have to use it, just use it sparingly and try to devote more time walking in nature, going outside, getting some sunlight, right? Enjoying yourself outdoors, making sure you're feeding yourself well, get your nutrition, get your minerals in your body, okay? It's not about proteins, it's not about sugars, it's not about fats, it's about minerals, okay? That's what your body is really going to use because that's like putting like these diamond mines inside your body and now getting them to mine all of these rich nutrients so that your body flourishes. It's about that type of nutrition. It's about minerals, not protein. Okay? Thanks, guys. We're going to wrap up for now. I went a little bit over today. So I'll be back tomorrow again for the next day, day number 5. Have a good one, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Day number 5 for conflict elimination. Take care.